Well, I think it's also when a lot of people take stuff like ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Where certain drugs can be a very good sort of pathway and just going, oh, wait a second, I'm experiencing something which is different than normal reality.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit of a clincher, because if you get stuck in that, I guess, the rut of just everyday life and you're not used to, you don't want to take drugs because you want to be very PC. There's not many avenues that a lot of people take that can just take you to a place where you're experiencing a different form of reality. And I guess, I don't know if that's a great thing. I don't condone, and you can do whatever you want with your body. That's what I think. But I think we don't have many avenues for people to experience different forms of consciousness that is socially acceptable. Because you can't just, like, if you go, oh, well, I felt a bit crazy and I saw different worlds, then, a lot of people say, well, what's wrong with you? Go see a psychiatrist, or they'll judge you. And I think it sort of breaks down a lot of this exploration that people can experience through a lot of stuff that's maybe other than meditation sort of avenues. So Greg, with meditations and trying to get to these places naturally, what's happening in your body? Like,
look, it is fascinating, because I was a musician. I used to use meditation for stage fright. A lot of musicians do, just to be calm on stage and stuff, and I think that kind of primed me in many ways. I wasn't looking for any kind of spiritual experience because it just wasn't on my radar. And I think, like Richard's touched upon the idea of being a skeptic, I think every human should be a skeptic to a degree. And if you experience something, then that's your reality. You have to experience it. Yeah. So I found that meditation is really the main key for astral traveling, and my whole definition of what my mind is has altered. And even Vicki touched upon this, the mind in sort of trauma and in past life. My concept of the mind now is like all through the body and beyond the body. In fact, like the word astral is really a loose term for those aspects of you that vibrate at a higher frequency. So now generally what happens is, it was happening a lot at the time, and it was very confusing. Vibrations would come, or lights, and take me out of my body. I wasn't willing it just happened.
So it felt natural for you? Or
at the time,
did you have to push through?
I didn't do anything. I just let it take me. At the time, would wake up. So I'd be awake while I was asleep. So it would wake me up generally before dawn, these vibrations. It was like my mind was subconsciously listening for a vibration.
Well, we're talking about like music and vibrations all last week. Now, was it like you heard a song or a tone? Or
these vibrations after a while ended up being kind of people. As weird as that sounds, and they were like...
so it wasn't... The vibration was an expression of something.
It was a being, it was an entity, it was consciousness.
Okay.
And so you're guided. When you're out of your body, you're actually guided. So I would then often go into like a void situation where it was very like a waiting room, if you like. And then I would hear my own voice say, one time early on the subject of past lives, it said, my voice somewhere else said, I want to see me. Then all of a sudden I saw myself as I was 15 years ago, directly in front of me, 3D, perfect. And there was like a slideshow when I got younger, and I didn't believe in past lives then.
Wow, okay.
I was brought up a Catholic, didn't really think about it. Then there was like a slideshow with wind in my ears. The eyes remained in the same place and disappeared. Then there was this Mongolian guy, same thing.
Mongolian guy?
I knew he was Mongolian. And this is the thing.
Were you seeing aspects of yourself through, say, past lives?
Well, that's what later on that I realized. So at the time, it's not like someone sits down with you and says, Greg, you're having an actual experience. This is what it means. It's not verbal per se. And then there was like an African. And then the problem was always the eyes in the same place. There was an alien came into it. This is the whole alien theme came into it.
Okay.
And then later on, I thought, what on earth was that? I had no idea. I didn't put a label on it. Then I knew someone who was a meditator in Austria I was living, and she said, that sounds like a past life regression. And my whole body sort of buzzed. I know that sounds funny, but my whole body, and I thought, that's what it was. I've lived before, I live, that I'm more than what I think I am. And so it's like you were touching before, how do people in a PC way get more contact with being more than human, which we are, we're more than human. And that was like, to me, not just evidence, it was like cellular, I knew.
Well, that sort of stuff. Like I've had experiences in my life, which I would accustomed to being in a real sense of my form now, but channeling so much energy that I experienced. The only thing that I could state is a heightened sense of awareness and vibration within my own body.
Yep.
So it was here right now,
Yep.
but I understood everything. And the problem is you can't speak when you're in this mode, and I was dubbed crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I was experiencing, I knew what people were feeling. I could feel that what they were feeling.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of same thing. From that point on, I just knew that, because in that point I knew everything and nothing at the same time. That's all you could say, experience it as. But it got me to a point where, even though I knew people would say that I was crazy, I knew the exact ramifications of what would happen. So it's not like my brain had just melted out of my head or fallen out, because I knew, I was aware of everything. And but I knew where this would lead to, because it's a fantastic moment. You can feel your brain hum.
Yeah.
And it just hums, and you're so, I don't know, it's that vibration.
It is
I
a
think.
buzzing, isn't it?
It's
a hum is a good word.
It's like a hum, a hymn, a hum. It's if linguistically valid. So it is a song that goes in your head.
It is definitely a song.
And so pretty much from that experience, from myself and my own perspective, I understood that there was something else to things.
Yeah.
I also had another experience where I'd gotten really sick from coming back from a trip. So I went to Island Vibes, had a lot of fun, drank lots of alcohol as I was young, and pretty much came back, and we're on excessively rough waters coming back on the Big Red Cat, which is a big barge for cars. It goes along from, I think it's Stratty, and I've never experienced being seasick. So it was my first experience. So I'm going across these waves and all this kind of stuff, and as I get to shore, my body just starts to stop working. So it's really weird, because I've never experienced anything like this before. It's just utter sickness. And I was supposed to drive back, couldn't drive back. So I sat in the front seat of my car. And when I was there, I noticed my hands started clawing. And it's actually called it's some sort of symptom of something. Not too sure what it was. But it's when your body starts just involuntary, just like, or your hands do claw.
Clawing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so you can see my hand. You go like this, so people can see at home. It's this weird clawing motion. You can't stop it.
Wow.
And I said to my friend, "Okay, I need to go down," because obviously my body was doing something. It's telling me something. So I sat down, and it was obviously one of those big vans, big camper vans that you can sleep in. So I just slept there, and when I pretty much put my hands over my eyes, and my eyes were open, I covered my hands over top of my eyes and just looked out into the darkness of my palms, and I just saw a row of smiling people. I felt like I was dying, but my eyes were open though. So it's not like I'm meditating. I was just looking through my hands into blackness and saw a row of smiling people. And from that moment, I knew that there's something different. So it's those experiences, I think, that help people enrich their lives and take you to different avenues where you know that there's something different rather than just experiencing a norm.